but I can definitely say you're you're right in saying I was earning above
Mm.
the average, and that's an average with all ages. So
So Toby, let's take it back to school, university.
yeah,
How did your journey in tech kick off, and like what were you studying? Did you know you always wanted to be in tech? Take us back to, years
yeah,
years back.
yeah. Interesting question. So it'd probably be taking it back about, let's say, 3 years from the day now,
Hmm.
maybe four actually. So I was in uni studying accounting
Hmm.
and finance. And I was part of the COVID cohort, so we kind of got robbed of a couple of years of just development and like progression. So of course I spent my first year in uni basically just at home, just doing nothing, just studying and just sitting in my room for a whole year. And then second year comes around and the world basically opens up. So
Hmm.
like you start going outside, you start trying to meet people, trying to make use of like that lost time from COVID.
Yeah,
So that's when I'm like, I kind of get like the uni culture, you can say, but like I'm in my second year, like
yeah.
half of everybody's still at home and everyone's in their own routines. So it's like it's harder to interact and to make friends, but I was able to do that, thankfully. And I'd say that's when I kind of got my initial taste of, okay, what do I that's when I started thinking about, okay, what do I actually want to do
Hmm.
with like the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Because I was doing accounting and finance at the time, and I don't know what it was. I think it was that COVID backlog year. I kind of just got tired of just general STEM and like just constantly studying, and maybe that year at home kind of just took away that passion I had for academia. So just like constant studying and stuff, I just wasn't it wasn't really drawing
Yeah,
drawing me.
we've all
And
been there.
and and that's a big part of accounting and finance, because to become a chartered accountant, you do your time in uni, and then after that, you have to do an extra like 2 to 3 years of studying alongside 2 to 3 years in industry. So I kind of got to the end of my second year, and I was kind of just a little bit burnt out. And I was thinking to myself, okay, what am I going to do with myself? Like,
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm destined for this path of being an accountant with a suit and tie and whatnot. I was just thinking, this probably isn't the long term path for myself. So
Yeah.
I stumbled across like an internship in like recruitment,
Hmm.
I guess, in sales in
Hmm.
itself. And I didn't know what recruitment was at the time. I just thought recruitment consulting sounded cool. I didn't know what the
Yeah.
role was. And then I through my uni actually, I done that internship for about 2 to 3 months. Shout out to the recruitment company. It was really fun. I enjoyed my time there a lot. But that's when I kind of got like my first taste into like sales and like what sales is. And that's when
Hmm.
I kind of saw like, oh, the numbers that people were making. And I was like, I think in my first week, I saw a couple of people had closed like deals worth over a 500,000 at the
Well,
time. And
yeah.
I was thinking to myself, so wait, how much of that do you get? And they were like, oh, a pretty good portion, maybe like 10%, 15%. I was like, okay, wow. So this is a real thing.
Hmm.
So that's kind of when like my that's when I was exposed to sales. I saw like how much money you could make in sales, how lucrative it could be. And I was working with people that generally had a passion for it.
Hmm.
And yeah, from there I kind of thought to myself, okay, maybe I should try to figure a way to pivot out of the traditional accounting and finance route, and maybe see if I can find a way into sales itself. And
Sure.
then I guess through going from my second year to my third year of uni, during that summer, I was kind of looking at like careers and stuff. And then I saw tech. Tech was like this big buzzword
Mm.
alongside sales. Put that together, you have tech sales, of course. And I was like, okay, there's something called tech sales out there. This looks somewhat cool as well.
Yeah.
And then I think I was scrolling through TikTok
Hmm.
literally, and then I just stumbled across
Is that how it was?
yeah, Entr Tech, honestly. Like I just stumbled across Entr Tech. I was like, okay, what the hell is this? This sounds kind of cool. Okay, you can do this course. and then at the end of this course, you get this qualification, you can earn this amount of money, and it all seemed relatively like bare bones, and I didn't believe it at first,
Mm.
so I think I contacted
A
you.
lot of people say that. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. I contacted you via LinkedIn
Mhm.
at the time as well. I don't know if you remember, but
Okay, yeah.
this was when I just started my 3rd year, so I was just like trying to question and
Yeah.
get some more
As much
insight.
information, and
Yeah.
I remember you saying you were ready, but you wanted to wait till you finished your studies, but you were like, "Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
you'll
yeah,
hear
yeah,
from me
yeah.
again." And
Yeah,
I said
yeah,
I
yeah.
think the team, it might be worth checking in
Yeah.
like May time. But I think
Yeah,
then
yeah,
I think
yeah.
you were proactive, said no. You got back in touch and was like,
Yeah.
"I'm ready. I want to do this."
Yeah,
I could
yeah,
tell you were
yeah.
very driven and done your research in
Yeah,
what tech
yeah.
sales was, and to take the program. And
Yeah.
I could just tell from within
Mm.
you were very motivated financially, which I think if anyone's watching this, you have to be, motivated financially to be, successful in software sales and sales in general. So
Yeah.
I was really interested by your background, and especially you were young, right? I don't think you did a gap year or anything. It was 3 year university. So you must have been what, 21?
21 at the time,
Yeah.
2021, yeah.
So I was pretty
Yeah,
blown away. I was like, okay, this guy's got his head switched on, and he
yeah.
seems like aggressive in a good way. Like he wants to get going in the industry.
No.
So that was really interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk to us. You finished your uni degree, you came through the program. How did you find that whole experience? Obviously, it must have been quite different to what you were used to at university.
Yeah, yeah. So I was doing the program while I was doing my final bunch of exams, I think. So it was a bit of like a roller coaster. Like at times I had calls with yourself, like, and I had to lock myself in like a toilet because
Yeah.
in like a toilet cubicle because I had like a revision session, so I was just doing both back and forth. So it was a bit funny
Mm,
now that I think about it. Um but yeah, it was different, but it was still cool. I got to meet yourself. There were some other people as
mhm.
well
Yeah.
on the program that we had. I think that was 2 others.
Hmm.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was really cool. It was quite seamless as well. It wasn't too difficult. I found it quite helpful. The upskilling aspect, like
Hmm.
the cold calling, and then also like the network that you get. So you gave us like some mentors
Hmm.
during the program. They were really helpful as well with like guidance, especially after the program and like check-ins and stuff like that. But yeah,
Good
yeah,
stuff. And that was probably one of our first or earliest cohorts actually, 2022, was it?
yeah, yeah.
So
2022, yeah, it was quite a while
three and
ago.
a half years ago.
Yeah,
And then tell us about your first role in tech, right? People want to know the good, the bad, the ugly, the challenges. Obviously, we'll get to where you are now.
yeah, yeah,
So you were working fintech
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
a BDR. How was that learning
yeah,
curve
yeah,
and
yeah.
that whole experience breaking in, right? Because
Yeah,
obviously it takes interviews with a certain amount of companies. Talk to us about that process, and
yeah,
then what it's like to onboard in a fintech straight out of uni, because you're
yeah.
still learning so much about like the corporate lifestyle. And how was that?
Yeah, that was a roller coaster, I'd say. Like first proper corporate job, out of uni, and then the the fintech was like it was a hyper growth fintech,
Mhm.
so it was growing really really fast. So like there was constant turnover in terms of people coming and going, KPIs changing, office spaces changing, patches changing,
Management
like
changing
yeah,
probably.
yeah, management changing as
Yeah.
well, and being privy to that straight out of uni was definitely eye-opening, but
Mm.
I'd say it was good when it came to developing a sort of like thick skin
Yeah.
and like being able to expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of people there. Like I've stayed in contact, even though I've
Nice.
left the company. I've stayed in
So
contact with quite a
important.
lot of people. My manager, shout out to my manager, and some colleagues as well. I still stay in contact with them. They were really, really good people. They helped me as well at the time. And I think because it was so different to uni
Mhm.
and quite fast paced, it kind of forced my development from here to here in a
Yeah.
way because
Yeah.
I kind of had to adapt. I didn't really have a choice. And from there, I upskilled. I learned more about tech sales. Like
Mm.
it was more than just the traditional BDR, SDR. There's a whole sales cycle involved within it, and there's different stages and there's different career paths. We'll touch upon that later,
Yeah,
of
yeah, for
course.
sure.
There's
Excited
diff-
to hear
there's
about that.
there's different career paths within SaaS sales in itself,
Hmm.
and I kind of just I saw how much potential there is in the industry, and it kind of excited me. I'd say, and
Mm.
I thought like, okay, I want to stay in this
Yeah.
industry. Yeah.
And how did you find achieving targets and goals within your first, year or 3 months? Were you one of the high performers within the team? I guess in terms of like salary wise, if you don't mind sharing, like what was the base salary you went into and the commissions you were earning in year one? Because I think a lot of grads will think, wow,
Yeah.
you came into the tech industry straight from uni
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
yeah.
earning, above the industry, the national average. Probably the national average is like 30K in the
Yeah.
UK. So like, what were
Yeah.
you earning in year one?
Yeah. I don't know if I can get into
Specifics,
the
like a
specifics of the
range or
contract,
yeah.
but I can definitely say you're you're right in saying I was earning above
Mm,
the average, and that's an average with all ages, so 30, 40 included.
mm,
So you can imagine straight out of uni getting that, you're thinking, oh wow. And then consider the average for my age group, then yeah, then you're really doing quite well from a salary package point of view. But yeah, I'd say uh sh- as a first BDR SDR job, if you negotiate right, then you can definitely get quite a favorable package. Yeah, I'd say for
nice,
sure.
good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And were there any other perks working in the industry? Like, do they pay for lunches now and again,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
healthcare or any other perks that came with the job?
Yeah. So I think there was like an equity thing
Hmm.
as well. So there was like equity in the package.
Nice.
I was quite young. I didn't really know how that worked.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't really bother to check. Probably
Hmm.
should have checked. Looking back now.
It's
But
never too
yeah,
late. It's never too late. Yeah.
never too
Yeah,
late.
yeah.
So you can expect that. You can also expect like some benefits, such as like maybe they pay for like your
Mm,
healthcare, gym memberships, travel.
yeah.
There's a lot of different incentives and that you can get in these kinds of contracts that are really helpful. Like the free lunch, I don't think I got free lunch all the time, but I know at that same company, maybe a 6 months to a year back, the employees were getting like free
Right.
lunch at the time.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice. And was it quite a good social environment? Like
Yeah.
after work, you'd catch up with colleagues sometimes or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
There was a lot of that as well. There was a lot of
Nice.
that as well. So yeah, like
Yeah.
family feel. You can get like the true family feel
That's great.
for sure.
And also it's a network, right? That you're building. It sounds like we'll go on to where you've moved and whatnot, but it's that connection of, smart, interesting people that you're gonna have connections with for the rest of your life that you
Yeah,
never know. You might be working with them in the future or selling to them, or if you ever started a business one day, whatever it is, you've
yeah,
got a
yeah,
good
yeah.
network of people that
Hundred
can
percent,
support you.
110%, one
Yeah.
hundred and ten percent.
Good stuff. And then challenges wise, like even in my career, the challenges were like the biggest learning curves. And you actually look back and think, I'm so happy I had those early in my career. And I've actually seen other firms, like some people will stay in their job or career at the same company for their life. They don't,
Yeah,
they can't see the differences in organizations. We'll go on to, where you are now. But
yeah.
how did you find those challenges? Was it, I guess, how did you navigate through those?
Okay, so like,
Like, how hard was the work as well? Because it's a
yeah,
tough job, right?
yeah, yeah. It's not an easy job. Sales is very much what you put in, you get out. So you you kind of have to be a hard worker, especially in today's day of like SaaS sales. I know a lot of people talk about how back in the day it was like the golden age,
Mm,
like there was money everywhere. Not it is still now, but you definitely have to grind and put the work in, I'd say for sure.
mm,
And I definitely had to do that at my first role as a BD. I definitely had to grind and put the work in. There was a lot of imposter syndrome because I was the youngest at the time. You can
mm,
imagine like being 21,
for sure.
fresh out of uni, and then the average age of the people around you is probably 30, early 30s to mid 30s or late 20s. You're thinking, okay, what am I doing here?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, but like it all aids in like the character building, quote unquote. because everyone there like has a number and everyone there is trying to hit their target.
Mm,
And if you find yourself to be lucky enough in a good company where the culture is good, everybody's going to try and uplift each other and help them get to their target. You know, there's always going to be people out there to help you, your managers, your colleagues. It's just about you being proactive. And yeah, proactivity is also really, really important in something like this, and it can help you circumnavigate those challenges that you have with like, okay, how can I hit this target? How can I get my KPI? You just have to be proactive. You have to be
yeah.
constantly trying to do more and do better.
100%. And it's so interesting you mentioned that, like the age dynamic, because sales is just such a great equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, what experience you've had in the past, what job, you've had, what your education status was, doesn't matter where you were born, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like if you are producing the numbers and you're, you know, the first person on the leaderboard at the top, or you're hitting target, and you will automatically gain respect from your colleagues and
Yeah.
peers. It really doesn't matter
Yeah.
where you come from, but at the start, obviously, there's that, I guess, pressure on you to perform and show people why you deserve to be there. It's a
Yeah.
bit like a sports team, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're coming through the ranks at a football club and you're put in, striker, you expect to be banging in the goals.
Oh, of course.
Especially the top teams, they're not going to wait around. They're not going to
Indeed.
wait around six
Yeah.
months for you to get up to speed. So,
Yeah.
yeah, mentally, you've got to be resilient as well. Like we
Yeah.
say to people, don't get into sales if you can't be, resilient and you haven't got the capacity to deal with pressure.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's hard to know till you're in that situation. But if you want a 9 to 5 where you can pick up a paycheck and go back and not think about work, sales probably isn't the place for you.
Yeah.
But if you like challenge, if you like the challenge, you are competitive and you like, you know, nice things, you like financial reward, it's the
Yeah.
best place to be, right?
Yeah. I'd
Because you get
say.
that sense of achievement when you shut your laptop that you've actually accomplished something for the day, and
Yeah.
and it sort of can become addictive, right?
Yes. It's kind of like running a business, you know.
Mm, yeah.
You kind of have to think about it like running a business. Like you're your own entrepreneur. So the more you put in, the more that you get out. And anyone that's had any kind of success in running a business, you yourself, I'm sure you're gonna know, like there's a lot of sleepless nights that
Mm,
come with that. There's a lot of
yeah.
pain, suffering,
Hmm.
pressure,
Yeah.
and imposter syndrome on yourself. But like you kind of just have to push through it. And it's the same with sales because you have your own book of business that you
Mm.
have to get. Very much like you're an entrepreneur, and I think that mentality is they coincide with each other.
Yeah, no, completely. You've hit the nail on the head.
Mm.
So let's fast forward to where you are today. So you're working at one of probably the world's largest tech company. We won't mention the name just because we'll keep it a little bit
Yeah.
inconspicuous. People can do their research on you afterwards. But how has that been moving to like the largest organization in the world? Because you've moved to a new country, seeing a new culture.
Yeah.
You're still in your, I guess, early to mid 20s.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
pretty cool thing to do, right? And like,
Yeah.
it's almost a bucket list for most people. So, how is that? You're pretty much playing for the Real Madrid, the best company in the world. So, for the football fans, they'll enjoy that analogy. But how's that transition been? You've moved roles as well. So
Yeah.
obviously there are different roles between SDR, BDR, and you can move into, marketing solutions engineer, which you are. Talk to us about being a solutions engineer. What drove you to that role? It's such a interesting role, especially with the evolution of AI and how software is developing at breakneck speed. And
Yeah.
it's such a crucial role for sales, for marketing. You are the sort of the lifeblood of, I guess, the sales team essentially.
Yeah.
If you don't have a good solutions engineer or um, someone to support there,
Yeah.
the whole sales cycle just flops, especially when you're selling
Yeah. Yeah.
really
Enterprise.
intrinsic,
Yeah. Yeah.
enterprise, tricky
Yeah.
software and deals. So, yeah, talk to us about that evolution. What made you think of changing lanes to that, and how's it all been moving to a new country? Like, yeah,
Yeah. Good question. There's a lot to unpack there. Um, I'll start off with the solutions engineer or solutions consultant.
yeah,
Those names can they go hand in hand, they change. So that came about on a whim, I'd say.
yeah,
It was during my time at the last company as while I was a BDR. I went to a networking event a pre-sales networking event.
Nice.
I was young. I didn't know what pre-sales was.
Yeah, yeah.
I just saw it on LinkedIn. It looked cool, and I was like, okay, let me go to it. It's even funny because I went with somebody else, and it was in Liverpool Street in London at the
Mm.
time, and we tried so hard to find this event. It was in one of those. There's so many high rises in Liverpool Street.
Yeah,
It's,
there
it's
is.
hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to navigate. So I think we tried about 5 or 6 times, and we almost went home. And then we found it like just at like the last second. Like I was about to get
It's
my bus
almost
home.
fate.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I almost just left, and I would never be here.
yeah.
But we found it. We went to the event. I met so many different pre-sales professionals. This was the first time I actually heard of like the word pre-sales and what it meant and what it entails.
Yeah.
And I met a couple of people. I connected really well with one person, and I'd
Mm.
consider him a mentor to this day because we're still in contact. So it's been about like a year and a half, 2 years now.
Love it.
And from there, I was kind of like introduced into, pre-sales, like being a sales engineer, what it entails, the
Mm.
roles that it plays within the sales cycle itself. And I kind of thought to myself, my skill set kind of lies here more so, and it's something that I definitely want to try and get into.
Yeah.
But I think one of the hardest things about like pre-sales is like actually getting into it because it's when you think of like SaaS and tech sales, you think of like closing deals and selling and
Yeah.
selling. You think of BDRA. You don't really think about pre-sales.
Yeah.
And
It's more like transactional.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You think it's more like technical, like you have to study computer science to get into it, which definitely helps, I'll say.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, from that point on, I kind of made a conscious decision. Okay, like I'm young, I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to upskill.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I wanted to pick this career
Mm-hmm.
because the upskilling element is tremendous, because solutions engineers, they're kind of sellers in their own right, but they sell in a different way. They act as like consultants, I'd say, on a
Yeah.
deal. So they bring that the technical know-how, but they also keep that client-facing interaction, that
Yeah.
selling interaction. So you're still kind of selling in a way,
Yeah.
and that whole dynamic kind of like intrigued me because I was like, okay, I want to upskill myself. I want to be able to learn and do more.
Yeah.
So then that career path became something that I wanted to definitely challenge myself and try and get into it. And it's quite a lucrative career path as
Mm.
well, similar to
Really
the
is.
traditional BDR, SDR, AE sales. It's quite a
Yeah.
lucrative path as well.
100%.
Um, so yeah, in terms of getting to where I am now at the company I'm at today, yeah, I was fortunate enough to stumble upon a graduate scheme,
Yeah.
I'd say, and then from graduate schemes you have like rotations, I'd
Yeah.
say. So like I had like rotations in solutions engineering aspects. I was able to dive more deep into there,
Nice.
build my network within the company that I'm at today,
Build your
in
personal brand.
there, build like personal brand, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
State my intention of like wanting to try and get into that path, and
Absolutely.
yeah, thankfully I
It's
was
worked out
able to
well.
get a role at where I
Amazing.
am now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. I think I worked with a solutions engineer pretty closely in my first role. We had
Yeah.
like pods where I was working with sales directors. I was the BDR. Then we had a solutions consultant. He's actually based in Ireland. Con, very
Oh wow.
like very intelligent guy. But if you are experienced and do well in as a solutions consultant, there's big bucks because most of the experienced ones are on very, very
Yeah.
lucrative salaries, but
Yeah.
also some companies will give you still a percentage of a deal that closes because you're
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
fundamental to the success of any deal. So
Yeah.
you really are working as like a consultant. You've got to be still have that client facing ability, but that
Yeah.
technical knowledge,
Yeah.
which is so important. How would you describe it for someone listening in who's maybe sat at university or working in a completely different field that's thinking about breaking into tech? How do you describe a solutions consultant or solutions
Yeah.
engineer or
Yeah.
pre-sales?
A pre-sales. So if you think of any kind of large transaction or deal that takes place, someone that operates within the pre-sales will likely be involved in that sphere in some way, shape, or form. Because if, let's say, a company wants to purchase a piece of software,
Mhm.
they're not just gonna take that software on and just leave. You know, you're generally gonna need someone that understands how that software works to a T and how
Mm.
that software can help you solve your challenge and be implemented
Mm.
into your business. So the same way that you need someone to come and actually sell that software to you,
Yeah.
you're going to need someone that's going to come and help you break it down into
Yeah.
smaller chunks. And so you can see the value in that software. And then oftentimes you're going to need someone to help you implement that software. And that space, the pre-sales, that's where the solutions consultant or the solution engineer comes into play. That's the
Yeah.
role that they take on.
Yeah. That's perfectly perfectly mentioned. And I guess if you guys are listening to this, some software, will sell for seven figures, millions of pounds.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies you're selling to will be very technical and have their own ways that they're set up. So the solutions engineer or solutions consultant, sales consultant will be working, almost guiding the prospect or the potential client through the software via
Yeah.
demos, understanding, their pain points
Of
from the
course. Yeah.
salesperson. So you really are very tight with the salespeople, right? The account
Yeah. Yeah.
executives,
Yeah.
the sales directors.
Yeah.
You probably like together every day.
Yeah, yeah, you have to be. You have
Mm.
to be. And that's another good thing because even though you can be seen as like the technical, the techie kind of guy, you still have to keep a very close relationship with your AEs. Like generally, like it varies depending on the business you're in, but like you could have like one SE to maybe two to like seven or eight AEs, you know.
Yeah,
So if you think about it like that, you have to keep a very good relationship with your AEs and
yeah,
you need to be able to work with them on deals and understand their deals to a level so like you can help them close at the
yeah,
end of the day because if you do well as an SE, like the AE is going to do well and then more AEs are going
yeah,
to want to come and work with you like as a result of that. So yeah.
yeah. You must be pulled left, right, and center as well. And like you sometimes spread thin. Is it busy days?
Um, I'd say I actually recently got the role, so I
Nice.
haven't been able to experience it in its entirety.
Yeah,
But from other experienced SEs that I've spoken with and mentors that I have,
yeah,
yes, you can
yeah,
you can definitely be spread thin at times. Like you've got people throwing deals left, right, and center
yeah,
at you to try and work on.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's why I guess communication is so
yeah,
key. Being a team player, being able to work independently, but as a team, communication skills, and also probably time management.
yeah,
So like all these skills you probably hear about, when you're applying to roles or, you might have listened to other podcasts, but if you're looking to break into tech, you've got to have that ability to communicate as a team member, work independently as well, but also manage your time and
yeah,
relationships. That's really cool.
100%.
And I guess where do you see your career evolving? What is it like working for like probably the largest software company in the world? Like how many, people are there in the Dublin office? Like what's the setup? Are you hybrid
Yeah.
in the office? Like it must be quite cool walking into those offices. It must be quite swanky.
Yeah, yeah, it is really cool. It's pretty. It was awe-inspiring at first. I'd say like the office is huge. Like one of the biggest offices in Dublin,
Mm.
and so many people
Mm.
there as well. But it's I think there's something like close to 100,000 employees worldwide. I'm not sure, something like that. But
Wow.
there's offices everywhere, not just in Dublin, like all over America. A big one in London as well, in Europe, Middle East, and stuff like that. But the scope of the company is huge, and you definitely feel that. And you feel that in the technology as well because it's
Mm.
it's always changing. Like it's really, really always
Really?
changing. Like weekly, monthly,
Mm.
there's massive changes, and I think the great thing about it is that you adapt with the change, so you get better as time goes on because there's so many moving parts, and because so many things are changing, you kind of have to yourself like upskill in ways, and you have to learn new technology, and you have to upskill, and you get better at doing your job
Yeah.
if you think about it like that
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, it's a lot,
Nice.
but it's good.
I
It's
guess like
good.
tech sales, SaaS sales, software sales, whatever you call it. It's probably one of the only careers in the world where you get paid to learn and interact with people.
Yeah.
So you're interacting with people on a daily basis, but you're also getting paid to learn about their challenges and, the landscape and the product. So
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
sales is such a great career path, and
Yeah.
even pre-sales is such a great space to be in. What's next for you? Like, have you got plans to, obviously there's offices worldwide, would you want to go to the US, other places? Do you travel at the moment as part of work? Like, where do you see yourself going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah. I have no idea, to
Yeah.
be completely honest. If you asked me a year and a half, 2 years ago, would I be in Dublin? I probably would have slapped you in the face. I wouldn't have thought I'd be here.
Yeah.
But I'd say I'm just going with the flow now. I definitely want to stay where I am now and promote and then become senior and do better. The great thing is that I do have the opportunity to potentially be a bit flexible where I am, but where I want to move to. So, like, let's say if the conversation of moving to America came up, it probably wouldn't be impossible.
Yeah.
It might be difficult, but it wouldn't be impossible. So it's definitely an opportunity, and I guess that's another good thing about tech sales as well, because it can very much be a career path where you're not restricted to one geographic location. You can definitely be flexible. Like if you want to be a remote SC, it's very doable. If you want to be a remote BDR AE, like it's doable. It's a career path that can allow you to be fully flexible about where you want to be in your surroundings. But for me, I think I'm gonna try and stay put in Dublin, try and get better, and just try and learn more, experience more, and see where life and work takes me.
Nice, love it. And you enjoying Dublin as a city?
Yeah. Dublin's different. It's different to London. It's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
But I think it being smaller definitely brings its benefits.
Yeah, for sure. Like commuting around, and also
Yeah.
you know all the spots pretty well. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Great stuff. We would love to wrap up just by knowing like your bits of advice, maybe 3 bits of advice for someone who's in your position, maybe graduating university or thinking about a career change into tech. My key takeaway is your network is your net worth. You went to that networking event
Yeah.
as an SDR to find out about pre-sales. Obviously, coming through Entr Tech, you met mentors and you take that leap of faith. What for you are the big I guess takeaways or advice you'd give to someone who wants to break into tech sales?
Yeah, I'd say, like you said there, your network is your net worth for sure. Utilize the people around you, utilize people like Jack and other professionals in the industry, because they know what they're talking about and they know what they're doing. They've been in your shoes before and they're really experienced and they're really good. I'd also say don't be afraid to take the risk as well. Things are always changing, especially in technology, and you don't want to be left behind, let's say. So if you want to take the risk, by all means, feel free. Make sure it's a calculated risk, but take that risk, and also be bold. The people that do the best in an industry like this are the people that are the boldest and the people that are willing to take risks, but also willing to show themselves and stand out. So I guess also don't be afraid, be bold, challenge yourself, and expose yourself and immerse yourself in an industry like this with like-minded people as well, because it's only going to help you push forward. It's only going to help your development, and
Absolutely.
I'd say those 3 points.
Good stuff. Honestly, so much wisdom and advice shared. So really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Where's the best place for people to reach out? Is it LinkedIn?
Yeah, best place probably LinkedIn.
Good stuff. I'll try and link it down below.
Yeah.
Awesome, Toby. Thanks so much. Look
No
forward to catching
worries.
up in a couple of years' time.